Myself, Falguni Solanki.
Welcome to our channel. Today we will see a revision video. Let's revise our poem, a photograph from lesson number 1. The present poem has been written by Shirley Tolson. The poem, a photograph, is composed in a blank words. It's just for the overview of the poem. Its title is very much appropriate as it reminds the poet of her mother. A photograph is something that captures a certain moment on someone's life. The person might change in course of time, but the memories attached with the photograph are eternal. As that's why we also capture photograph, right, with our best friends, to capture our best moments. In this poem, the poet's mother is no more, but the photograph makes her memories come alive. The mother's sweet face or her cousins heavily dressed up for the beach have all changed with time, but the moment captured in the photograph still gives happiness to the poet's mother when she views in 30 or 40 years later. The poet resembles that the sea holiday was the past of her mother, and for her, the laughter of her mother is past now. Both the moments and memories of life have been permanently attached in poet's mind with a feeling of eternal loss. Death now has overpowered the innocence of these moments and the pleasure they treasured. The poet concludes the poem on a melancholy note with silence seems to be silence all other thoughts. So here just this one is the overview of the poem जो यहाँ पे हम लोग पूरी poem अभी लोग देखेंगे. तो उसमें ऐसा कुछ कहा गया है, तो उसको डीपली अंडरस्टैंड करने के लिए हम लोग यहाँ पे जाएंगे स्ट्रेंजा. तो स्ट्रेंजा हमारा फर्स्ट स्ट्रेंजा यहाँ पे हम लोग देख सकते हैं. द कपबोर्ड shows me how it was when the two girls cousins went paddling, each one holding one of my mother's hands, and see that big girl, some 12 years or so, all three stood still to smile through their hair at the uncle with camera sweet face, my mother's that was before I was born, and the sea which appears to have changed less was the terrible transient fate. Now, in this line, the poet described looking through a photo album, the pages of which seem to be made of cardboard. Cardboard picture यहाँ पे दिया गया है ना. Says looking at one picture in a particular, it is a picture of three girls. When the two girls went paddling, each one holding one of my mother's hand. Total कितनी हुई? 3 girls. So यहाँ पे जो है 3 girls, the tallest, oldest one is the middle, and the 2 young and shorter ones at each side of her. So the tallest and the oldest was poet's mother. The girl in the middle is the poet's mother, and the poet speculates that her mother must have been around 12 years old when the picture was taken. The other two girls are two of her mother's cousin. Each of the cousin is holding on to one of older girl's hand for support or as a security. The picture has been taken on a day that the three girls had gone paddling at the beach. Now then, in next lines like at my uncle's with the camera a sweet face. So in this lines, the poet further described the condition in which the photograph of her mother and her mother's cousin were taken. The poet says that the poet's mother's uncle had been one to take the photograph, and he had asked the three girls to pose for him, and the three girls also gave pose to uncle to capture a beautiful memory of three of them. However, one face in the picture draws the poet's attention to a great degree than the other two faces. Why? Because one face of her mother. and she comments that the face was a sweet one. Whose face? Mother's face was a sweet one. यहाँ पे दिया गया ना, sweet one. Definitely मम्मी तो सबको प्यारी होती है. The poet also says that the photograph was taken long before her own birth. Poet's mother was at around 12 or 13 years old, so definitely before poet's born. And since then, the mother face had of course changed since the time the photograph had been taken. हम लोग छोटे होते तब अलग दिखते हैं, बड़े हो जाएंगे तब अलग दिखेंगे, तो वो पिक्चर भी अलग है. That very sea had been washing the feet of the poet's mother and her two younger cousins the day they took that photograph. The poet calls those feats terribly transient. Why it called that terribly transient? Because since all the girls in that photograph had stopped being so young and had grown up since then, even they pass out, but the childhood pass out, the person pass out, but she remain as it is. That's why it's called a terribly transient fit. In next stanza, some 20-30 years later, she would laugh at the snapshot, see Betty and Dolly, she would say, and look how they dressed up us for the beach. The sea holidays was her past and mine is her laughter, both way with the labored ease of loss. So यहाँ पे क्या होता है? In this lines, the again poet remember her mother, and the poet stops looking at the photograph and recalls what her mother used to say about the photograph once upon. The poet isn't sure whether it was 20 years after the photograph was taken or 30 years, but she remembered her mother telling her to look at how the cousins, that Betty and Dolly, looked at that young age. And even the poet's mother also remarked her to look at how their parents had dressed them up to visit a sea, and perhaps the plans to make the photograph had been there all along. The further the narrator, यानी कि the poetess says, was her past, mine is her laughter, both ray with the labored ease of loss. यानी कि यहाँ पे बोला गया है, the poet says that her mother used to consider the photograph as an memory, past memory with her cousin, and whenever she, यानी कि mother seen that picture, she always laugh. Narrator said, यानी कि poetess says that the mother laughter was of past memories for her, as well as the photograph was also the past memory of her mother. So here the memories of past made the two women contemplating their feel disappointed as they tried hard to remember that beautiful days. In the last stanza, now she's been dead nearly as many years as that girl lived, and of this circumstance there is nothing to say at all. It's silence, silence. So in the last four lines, the poet said that the mother has been dead for the past 12 years, but the same number of years, that was the age of her mother in the photograph she had been looking at. And the poet is able to think of her mother's death, but she has no words with which to explain how the death has affected her. The loss of mother, how much affected her. The fact that the death has silenced her mother has also left her speechless. Silence and silence, silence of mother and silence of poetess also. So this one is the little bit overview of this poem. Now we have questions based on it. What does the word cardboard denote the poem? Why was this word been used? हम लोगों को ये पोएम समझ में आई होगी, डेफिनेटली वी आर एबल टू आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन कि यहाँ पे जो कार्डबोर्ड है वर्ड वो क्या डिनोट करता है. सो द वर्ड कार्डबोर्ड जो है वो पार्ट ऑफ अ फोटो फ्रेम दैट कीप्स द फोटोग्राफ इंटैक्ट, द मदर एंड टू कजिन. इट इज़ मेड ऑफ वेरी स्टीफ एंड हार्ड पेपर. कार्डबोर्ड यानी कि वहाँ पे स्टीफ और हार्ड पेपर से बना हुआ है. द पोएट हैज़ ironically used in it her poem and the photograph. This cardboard helps in keeping the photograph of the 12 years old girl safely intact, who herself was of transient nature. Okay, now second one is what has the camera captured. So the camera had captured the three girls, the pretty face of poet's mother, who was girl of 12 at the time. It has also captured the smiling faces of two girl cousins, Betty and Dolly. They are holding the hands of poet's mother. Now, third one, what has not changed over the years? Does this suggest something to you? Is it? So only the sea has पोएट्री यहाँ पोएट्री यहाँ पे बोल रही है ना फर्स्ट स्ट्रेंजा में ट्रांजेंट टेरिबल ट्रांजेंट फीट यानी कि ओनली द सी हैज़ नॉट चेंज ओवर द ईयर्स द प्रीटी फेसेस एंड द फीट ऑफ द थ्री गर्ल्स हैव चेंज ओवर द टाइम and they are transient because time spares none. Now let's see the poet's mother laughed at the snapshot. What did this laugh indicate? The poet's mother laughed at the photograph which was taken years ago. In the photograph, she as well as her two little cousins stood holding each other's hand. She laughed at all of them because they were heavily dressed up for the beach. Normally beach हम लोग सीसो विजिट पे तो normally dress up होता है, यहाँ पे heavily dress up किया गया है. Perhaps they looked funny to her and the laughter indicate the youthful spirit and beautiful memories of that time. And what is the meaning of the line, both were with the labored ease of loss? So the answer is like this. Both the mother and the poet suffered a great sense of loss. The mother lost her childhood innocence and youthful spirit that the photograph had captured some years ago. On the other hand, the poetess has lost the smile of her mother, which has become a thing of the past for her. Later, she loses her mother too. So here, the two things are together, and it's also indicated, also connected by one picture only. What does this circumstance refer to? So this circumstance here refers to the death of the poet's mother. The photograph of her mother, dead mother, makes the poet unhappy and sad, and also bring that sad feelings from the past. But the poet has nothing to say at all about the circumstances because death is inevitable. No one can stop it. And the last is the three stanza depict three different phrases. What are they? We can see that three stanzas we have in the poem. So तीनों कुछ यहाँ पे indicate कर रहे हैं. वो क्या है? तो first one is the first stanza shows the poet's mother as a 12 years old girl with a pretty smiling face. Then she is paddling with her two girl cousins on a beach, and they all have a happy, youthful laughter and spirit. This is before the poet was born. And the second stage, in the second stanza, described the middle-aged mother laughing at her own snapshot that was taken long time back. And the third stage described the silence of the poet's face at the death of her mother. So यहाँ पे अलग अलग तीन stanza है और तीनों अलग अलग चीज़ों को indicate कर रहे हैं. तो ये थी हमारी poem lesson 1 से a photograph. Now let's see next poem. स्टूडेंट्स बिफोर वी स्टार्ट अवर सेकेंड पोएम, अगर हम लोग यहाँ पे पोएटिक डिवाइस यानी कि फिगर्स ऑफ स्पीच की बात करें तो हमारे पास कुछ वर्ड्स है जो यहाँ पे एलिट्रेशन इंडिकेट कर रहे हैं, लाइक स्टूड स्टिल. हम लोग देखते हैं वन बाय वन. तो फर्स्ट वन आएगा स्टूड स्टिल, देन टेरिबली ट्रांजेंट. नेक्स्ट वन विल बी साइलेंस. साइलेंस जो हम लोगों ने पोएम में एंड में देखने को मिलता है, यहाँ पे साइलेंस. साइलेंस. तो ये जो सारे वर्ड्स हैं तो यहाँ पे एल्ट्रेशन दिखा रहे हैं कि यहाँ पे पोएटिक डिवाइस ये वाला है. नेक्स्ट वन आएगा ऑक्सीमोरन. ऑक्सीमोरन में हम लोगों को एक सिर्फ एक सेंटेंस देखने को मिलेगा यहाँ पे जो है लेबर्ड ईज. ये है ऑक्सीमोरन. और उसके बाद है टेरिबली ट्रांजेंट. टेरिबली ट्रांजेंट को हम लोग यहाँ पे देखेंगे तो ये है ट्रांसफर्ड एपिथेट. ट्रांजेंट तो है लेकिन कैसे वाला, तो टेरिबली, तो यहाँ पे ये ट्रांसफर्ड एपिटाइट भी दिखा रहा है। ओके, चलो अब हम लोग देखेंगे पोएम नंबर 2। Our next poem is The Lebanon Talk. Let's just summarize the poem, यानी कि जो पोएम है उसमें पूरी स्टोरी क्या है वो हम लोग देख लेंगे, उसके बाद हम लोग क्वेश्चन आंसर को एक्सप्लेन करेंगे। The poem starts with a description of the Lebanon tree, whose top was still and silent. Its leaves had turned yellow and seeds had fallen down. It was a daytime in the month of September, you can say here, when the tree was standing still and death-like. With the arrival of bird goldfinch, the lifeless tree became alive. We can see here in this line. She came to feed her younger ones, यानी कि babies, who are on the thickness of the branch, and the tree is her shelter. Whose shelter? Goldfinch and its bird. And she arrives at the end of the branch with the chopping sound. See, यानी कि bird goldfinch. She entered in that thickness of the tree. She further moves to the other side of the branch with rapid movement like a lizard, alert and abrupt. As soon as she arrives, her younger ones start chirping like a machine and vibrating and flapping their wings because they are expressing their happiness with the arrival of their mother. The death-like tree becomes alive and it trembles and shakes. After feeding them, she flies, and a mother goldfinch flies to the other side of the branch. Her dark color face with the yellow बॉडी वॉज barely visible as she vanished behind the yellow leaves. यहाँ पे रिजेंबल है उसकी जो कलर है और जो लीव्स है दोनों में यहाँ पे सिमिलरिटी दिखाई गई है. एंड सी फ्लू अवे इन द स्काई लिविंग द ट्री डेथ लाइक अगेन बिकॉज विद द मदर द बर्ड्स ऑल्सो silent again and they are again waiting for their mother. So this one is the little bit summary of the poem Lebanon Talk. Let's see the question answer of it. So our first question is, what do you notice about the beginning and the ending of the poem? So answer will be like this. At the beginning and at the ending of the poem, the Lebanon tree was standing still and silent just like death-like. बिगिनिंग और एंडिंग में उसमें कोई चेंज नहीं होता. बिगिनिंग में बिफोर गोल्डफिंच अराइव एंड आफ्टर गोल्डफिंच लेफ्ट द ट्री इट्स रिमेन लाइक डेथ लाइक. टू व्हाट इज द बर्ड्स मूवमेंट कंपेयर्ड, व्हाट इज द बेसिस फॉर द कंपैरिजन. सो द गोल्डफिंच मूवमेंट इज कंपेयर्ड टू दैट ऑफ द लिजर्ड बिकॉज शी वॉज abrupt, slick and alert. The same movement were observed when she arrived, यानी कि goldfinch arrived at the tree and moved to the thickness side of the branch to feed their young ones. Third one, why is the image of engine evoked by the poet? So as the engine is a source of run the machine, the bird is compared to the engine as she is the feeder of our family. जैसे कि कोई भी मशीन कोई भी मशीन होता है उसमें इंजन उसका मेन सोर्स होता है. तो सेम ही अगर फैमिली में आपके पेरेंट्स यानी कि आपके फादर हो मदर हो तो वो आपको मेन एक फैमिली फीडर होते हैं जो अर्न करते हैं. आप तो अभी अर्न नहीं कर रहे हो. सो एज द मशीन कैन नॉट वर्क विदाउट एन इंजन, एग्जैक्टली गोल्डफिंच फैमिली कांट लास्ट विदाउट हर. दैट्स वाई यहाँ पे बोला गया है जो इमेज ऑफ इंजन है वो इस तरफ से इस पोएम में कंपेयर हुई है. वॉट डू यू लाइक मोस्ट अबाउट दी पोएम? तो आप पे डिपेंड है आपको क्या पसंद है क्या पसंद नहीं है. बट वी कैन से दैट द कंपेरिजन ऑफ स्टेट ऑफ ट्री बिफोर एंड आफ्टर गोल्डफिंच अराइव. Before goldfinch arrived, the tree was like death, but with the arrival of goldfinch, the whole tree become livable, and it's like we can see that the chirping of birds and This is also compared with the liveliness of tree. Last one, what does the phrase her bad face identity mask mean? It means that the phrase her bad face identity mask means that the bird's face became her identity in symbol of recognition. But birds also hide herself in that yellow leaves of Lebanon tree. Okay. Now let's see the poetic device in the poem. Poetic device यानी कि figure of speech. Let's see which figure of speech are here. We'll start with alliteration. हम लोगों ने बहुत जगह पे alliteration देखा है. Alliteration यानी कि that repetition of the same consonant sound. So यहाँ पे हम लोग देखते हैं तो second sentence में है September sunlight. तो S and sun, S for sunlight is alliteration. Then कहीं और भी है तो ढूंढ लेते हैं हम लोग. So yeah, here tree trembles and thrills. Tree trembles and thrills. So this line also indicate alliteration. Next one देखते हैं simile. Simile यानी कि comparison between two things using like और as और as if. तो यहाँ पे हम लोगों को as वाला एक sentence मिल जाएगा. Sleek as lizard. तो as यहाँ पे simile indicate कर रहा है. Next one देखते हैं metaphor. तो metaphor यानी कि indirect comparison between two things without using like और as. So वो भी हम लोग देखते हैं. She enters the thickness and a machine starts up. So यहाँ पे जो noise created by वो young ones है वो compared to the machine's noise. तो यहाँ पे comparison है but without using like और as. Then next one देखते हैं यहाँ पे. Right. It is the engine of her family. It is the engine of her family यानी कि जो mother है वो engine of the family है. तो यहाँ पे machinery of engine and head of family दोनों को compare किया गया है. उसके बाद है showing her bad face identity mask. तो यहाँ पे जो ये है हर bad face identity mask यानी कि yellow leaves के लिए भी यूज़ किया गया है. उस येलो लीव्स यानी कि वो भी उसकी खुद की ट्री की आइडेंटिटी है. और यहाँ पे जो उसका कलर है गोल्ड फिंच का वो भी उसकी खुद की आइडेंटिटी दिखा रहा है यहाँ पे. नेक्स्ट आएगा यहाँ पे पर्सोनिफिकेशन आएगा. पर्सोनिफिकेशन यानी कि हम लोग नॉन लिविंग थिंग में भी एक लिविंग एलिमेंट इंक्लूड करते हैं. लाइक होल ट्रीज ट्रेम्बल एंड थ्रिल्स. तो यहाँ पे ट्री तो लाइक ओके इट्स नॉर्मल एक चीज़ है वो कभी इतनी एक्साइटमेंट नहीं होती कभी थ्रिल नहीं फील करती. लेकिन यहाँ पे पर्सोनिफिकेशन हम लोगों ने यूज़ किया. दैट्स वाई यहाँ पे ये ट्रीज ट्रेम्बल एंड थ्रिल्स वो फ्रेज हम लोग यूज़ कर पा रहे हैं. उसके बाद एक और फिगर ऑफ स्पीच है यहाँ पे. लास्ट वन है ट्रांसफर्ड एपिथेट. ट्रांसफर्ड एपिथेट यानी कि हम लोगों को पता है जो हम लोग कोई एलिमेंट होता है वो एलिमेंट के पहले एज अ एडवर्ब और एडजेक्टिव हम लोग कोई ऐसा नाउन यूज़ करते हैं जो पूरे वर्ड की ब्यूटी को डिफाइन करता हो. तो यहाँ पे हमारे पास वो सेंटेंस है हर बैड फेस आइडेंटिटी मास्क. तो फेस तो है लेकिन कैसा बैड फेस, राइट. तो ये है ट्रांसफर्ड एपिथेट. Now we are moving towards our last poem for this first examination, The Voice of the Rain. Let's see. So, Voice of the Rain, this one is written by Walt Whitman. इसकी भी हम लोग समरी सिर्फ देखेंगे. हम लोग ने ऑलरेडी पहले उसको लाइन बाय लाइन किया हुआ है तो we'll just focus on summary. So in this poem, Voice of the Rain, the poet asks the soft falling shower, who are you? Soft falling shower यानी कि raindrops. To which she replies, she यानी कि raindrops replies that she is a poem of earth and it is a strange thing for the rain to reply to the poet. Have you ever seen that some raindrops reply to you, hi or how are you? No. So the rain told the poet that she cannot be touched as she rises in the form of water, vapor in the sky from the land and the bottomless sea. It changes its shapes, yet it remains the same. The vapor changes into clouds due to that whole cycle. It falls back on the surface of the earth to provide water to the drought prone areas and also provide beauty to the earth. It's provide life to the seeds inside the earth and help them grow, as we can see in our everyday life also. And further is said that the rain doesn't care if anyone bothers about her deeds or not, but she completes her work and comes back home. The poet also compared the rain with his song as they both share a common journey. The song originates from the heart of the singer, travels across the fulfill the aim and comes back with due love for the singer and singing. So this one is the main theme of the poem Voice of the Rain. सो इसका क्वेश्चन आंसर हम लोग एक बार रेफर कर लेते हैं. सो इस क्वेश्चन आंसर में फर्स्ट वन है there are two voices in the poem. What do they belong to? Which lines indicate this? So the two voices in the poem are the voice of the rain and the voice of the poet. And the lines which indicate the voice of the rain are I am the poem of the earth, जो हम लोगों ने poem में देखा है beginning में. And say the voice of the rain, ये rain के through बोली गई है. And the line which indicate the voice of the poet are and who are thou, ये जो बोला गया है वो poet के through बोला गया है. Second question है what does the phrase strange to tell mean? The phrase strange to tell means that it was strange for the soft falling rain to reply the poet's question. When the poet asked the rain, who art thou? The rain replied that I am the poem of earth. So this thing is strange to tell. अगर आप किसी को बोलो तो वो यकीन नहीं करेगा कि ओके आपके साथ रेन ड्रॉप से बात की है, इसलिए यहाँ पे फ्रेज यूज़ किया गया है स्ट्रेंज टू टेल, जो बोलने में थोड़ा ऑकवर्ड लगे, ऑड लगे. थर्ड वन, there is a parallel drawn between rain and music. Which words indicate this? Explain the similarity between the two. Now the lines for the song issuing from the birthplace after fulfillment, wondering ragged or unragged. Ragged and unragged यानी कि जब कोई सॉन्ग ओरिजिन में आता है तो सॉन्ग को कभी बुरा लगता है कि इसने मुझे नहीं सुना, इसने मुझे सुना है. नो, देयर इज़ नो, इट डजेंट मैटर समवन केयर और समवन नॉट केयर. द मीनिंग होता है रैक्ड एंड अनरैक्ड का. ड्यूली विथ लव रिटर्न्स ड्रॉप पैरेलल बिटवीन रेन एंड म्यूज़िक. जैसे कि म्यूज़िक होता है वो लॉन्च होता है तो पूरे वर्ल्ड में घूमता है, लोग सुनते हैं उसको, लेकिन वापस वो घर पे आ जाता है. मतलब एक टाइम आता है कि जब जो सिंगर होता है उसका खुद का सॉन्ग उसको सबसे ज़्यादा प्यारा होता है. तो यहाँ पे जो रेन है वो भी इक्वल ऐसा ही है. वो डजेंट मैटर किसी को इसकी इम्पोर्टेंस है नहीं है, वो सिर्फ अपना काम करती है और घर को वापस चली जाती है. सो द पोएट कंपेयर द लाइफ साइकिल ऑफ द रेन एंड द सॉन्ग. मैंने अभी बोला ना, एज द सॉन्ग originated from the heart of the singer, wanders to the world and whether like or not comes back to its birthplace in the end of with lots of love of listeners. Similarly, the rain that originates that earth and fulfill the duty to beautify and purify the earth and also come back to her homes, doesn't matter someone care for her or not. Next one is how is this cyclic movement of the rain brought out in the poem? Compare it with what you have learned in science. अब लोगों ने प्रीवियस ईयर्स में डेफिनेटली पढ़ा होगा, कुछ तो अभी भी पढ़ रहे होंगे. तो अगर हम लोग देखा जाए तो जो पोएम में है तो वाटर राइजेज फ्रॉम द लैंड एंड द बॉटमलेस सी इन फॉर्म ऑफ वेपर. Then it changes its form, transform into clouds. It comes down to the earth in form of the rain to wash the drought, provide water, give life to urban and latent seeds inside the earth. And the rain purifies and beautifies the earth also. In scientific view, the water is evaporated in the form of water vapor, and in the sky it's formed into clouds, and then rains drop in the form of water into rivers, streams, grounds, seas, etc. In the poem, the rain describes the eternal journey itself. Fifth one, why are the last two lines put within brackets? सो हम लोगों ने ये भी क्वेश्चन डिस्कस किया हुआ था एक्सप्लेनेशन के टाइम. The last two lines are put within the brackets because they are the observations made by the poet and his thoughts. And he made similarity between the rain and the music. जो previous lines है वहाँ पे conversation है between rain and the poet. पर लास्ट टू लाइन है वो नरेटर पोएट की खुद की इमेजिन की हुई है, खुद के थॉट्स है. दैट्स वाई उसको ब्रैकेट में रखा गया है. यहाँ पे ऑपोजिट लिस्ट पैर ऑफ ऑपोजिट लिखना है तो मिल जाएगा हम लोगों को पोएम में. रैक्ड एंड अनरैक्ड यानी कि केयर और डजंट केयर. राइज एंड डिसेंड यानी कि लाइक आगे बढ़ना और वापस नीचे आना, वो भी ऑपोजिट है. डे एंड नाइट दोनों भी ऑपोजिट है. सो ये सारी चीज़ें हम लोगों को वॉइस ऑफ द रेन में देखने को मिलेगी. चलो पोएम ख़त्म करने से पहले हम पोएटिक डिवाइस भी देख ही लेते हैं इसमें कौन से पोएटिक डिवाइस यूज़ किए गए हैं. तो लेट्स सी फर्स्ट वन. अगर हम लोग बोला जाए तो पोएम का टाइटल है वॉइस ऑफ द रेन. वो इटसेल्फ पर्सोनिफिकेशन है ना. रेन कभी बातें करती है, नहीं करती. आपके साथ करी कभी कही है, पता नहीं, मैंने सब तो कभी नहीं की. तो मेरे लिए तो पूरा पर्सोनिफिकेशन ही है पूरी पोएम. फिर भी हम लोग कोई सेंटेंस ढूंढना होगा तो हम लोग बोलेंगे आई एम द पोएम ऑफ अर्थ से द वॉइस ऑफ द रेन. तो ये पर्सोनिफिकेशन होगा. और व्हाट इज़ पर्सोनिफिकेशन? जो नॉन लिविंग थिंग है उसको लिविंग एलिमेंट देने का काम कर रहा है पर्सोनिफिकेशन. देन ये जो सेंटेंस है आई एम द पोएम ऑफ अर्थ, ये ऑल्सो लाइक मेटाफर भी है. क्यों? बिकॉज यहाँ पे रेन इज़ बीइंग कंपेयर टू अ पोएम. यहाँ पे जो रेन है वो पोएम के साथ कंपेयर की गई है. पोएम ऑफ अर्थ यानी कि रेन ऑफ अर्थ. अगर अर्थ रेन है तो अर्थ का एग्जिस्टेंस है यहाँ पे फॉर लॉन्ग टाइम. तो पोएम है तो हम लोग जैसे लाइक ह्यूमंस हैं उसका एग्जिस्टेंस है. पोएम यहाँ पे एक कोई एंटरटेनमेंट का सोर्स दिखाई गई है. तो यहाँ पे मेटाफर है पोएम ऑफ अर्थ. तो यहाँ पे जो पोएम है वो रेन है. तो यहाँ पे पोएम एंड रेन को कंपेयर किया गया है. उसके बाद देखते हैं नेक्स्ट. अगर हम लोग आगे जाएंगे, यस बॉटमलेस सी. तो जो बॉटमलेस सी है वो हाइपरबोली है. हाइपरबोली क्यों है? बिकॉज यहाँ पे एग्जैगरेटेड स्टेटमेंट दिया गया है. बॉटमलेस सी नो डाउट बॉटमलेस है लेकिन कहीं पे तो होगा ना, एंड कहीं पे तो होगा. तो यहाँ पे एग्जैगरेशन है, खूब बड़ा चढ़ा के बात की गई है. हम लोग यहाँ पे देखेंगे ये हाइपरबोली है बॉटमलेस सी. उसके बाद आगे जाएंगे तो कोई ना कोई तो मिल ही जाएगा हम लोग को और फिगर ऑफ स्पीच. और स्टूडेंट्स ये कंपलसरी नहीं कि आपको एक सेंटेंस है वो सिर्फ एक ही फिगर ऑफ स्पीच को जस्टिफाई कर रहा होगा. वो एक से ज़्यादा भी हो सकते हैं. लेकिन आपके पास जो ऑप्शन होगा उस ऑप्शन में आंसर तो डेफिनेटली एक ही होगा. एक से ज़्यादा ऑप्शंस वहाँ पे नहीं होंगे. यस यहाँ पे है द सॉफ्ट फॉलिंग टावर्स. तो यहाँ पे ये इमेजिनरी फिगर ऑफ स्पीच यूज़ की गई है. इट्स अ विजुअल डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑफ समथिंग. जो आप देख रहे हैं उसका डिस्क्रिप्शन करना है बट इट्स इन फॉर्म ऑफ इमेजिनेशन. ओके. तो यहाँ पे इतनी फिगर ऑफ स्पीच थी लेसन में. तो हम लोग नेक्स्ट टाइम मिलेंगे विथ न्यू टॉपिक. टिल देन कीप वॉचिंग अवर चैनल. लाइक अस. थैंक यू.